Welcome to Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. Your hosts are Charlie the Country Conservative and Brendan Statler from The Brendan Statler Show. Now on with the show.
Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative.
And I'm Brendan Statler from The Brendan Statler Show.
Join us as we dissect the legal landscape, but let's rewind the clock a little bit. In the annals of American history, Georgia has been a crucible for change, from its colonial origins to the Civil War. This state has witnessed pivotal moments. So let's fast forward to the present. District Attorney FANI WILLIS, Miss Piggy herself, embroiled in controversy, stands at the intersection of tradition and modernity. But remember, Georgia's legal battles are nothing new. The echoes of Brown versus the Board of Education, the Civil Rights Movement, landmark Supreme Court decision resonate here. But let's talk about the Georgia courts. They have granted former President Trump's appeal to disqualify Fani Willis from the election interference case. Willis is accused of a conflict due to her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Faces scrutiny as she continues to prosecute. The stakes are high and the courtroom drama unfolds. And as Trump and Biden prepare for their debates, let's recall past presidential clashes. The Lincoln-Douglas debates, Kennedy-Nixon showdown, and Reagan-Carter faces off. But that's not all. The upcoming debate between Trump and Biden looms in the horizon. The U.S. braces ourselves for a clash of ideologies, policy visions, and perhaps a few memorable zingers. You know that's going to happen with Biden. So, my fellow truth seekers, let's explore the past to illuminate the present. Grab your mug of whatever you're drinking, lean in, let history guide your conservative compass. Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where truth always matters. I hope you guys had a great weekend and not so bad of a Monday. But first off, we got to start with this.
Preview.
We got some breaking news. If you guys haven't heard about this, but a fuming Judge Merchant runs interference for brag, shouts at Trump. The defense witness, Robert Costello, which is an attorney, get out of the courtroom now, he yells. This man just showed the bias against Trump like you would not believe. So let me get down here because he showed him and he cleared the courtroom, everything. He did not like the fact that Costello ruined Cohen's case totally. He got pissed off and cleared the courtroom, cleared the jurors, cleared everybody, kicked Costello out, and just showed how biased he is against Trump, because this could ruin Braggs' case totally. Now this man should be disbarred. He should be thrown out. The case should be dismissed. This went beyond being a judge. This shows the prejudice of the judicial system.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's supposed to be a judge. He's supposed to be neutral in this case, and he is clearly not. If Cohen's case gets blown up, it shouldn't matter to the judge because he's supposed to be impartial.
Right.
And he just showed today that he is not. This case, like all the other cases against Trump, really should be thrown out because many of them, like I said before, we don't even know what he's being charged with exactly.
Right. They still haven't given a charge yet.
Right. No, they haven't. So how this is even allowed to continue just based off that alone is just baffling to me. And, like I said, it's not just unique to this case. And every other case he's involved in, the media can't even figure out what he's being charged with. And the stuff that they do say that he's, guilty of, because the media is biased themselves. are nothing more than misdemeanors. I mean, they don't require any prison time. Really, none of them are a big deal, but there's been no evidence that Trump has done anything wrong. And, you know, the judge in this case, Judge Merchan, is getting more and more frustrated by this case, I believe, and I'm sure you agree with this, Charlie, because his case is completely falling apart.
Oh,
I mean,
most definitely.
Michael Cohen actually admitted in front of the court he stole $60,000 from Trump.
Oh, yeah.
That's worse than what Donald Trump is even being accused of doing. If we could even really pinpoint what he's being accused of doing, that he paid hush money to a porn star to keep quiet about their affair, and he, you know, filed the paperwork wrong, or whatever the liberal media is saying. Even if all that's true, that is a lot less offensive than what Michael Cohen, their star witness, said that he did. He stole $60,000 from Trump.
Yep.
How is Michael Cohen not the defendant in this case? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. They're so worried about Donald Trump retaking the White House, and it shows. This is what desperation looks like. If this doesn't motivate people to go out and vote, I don't know what does, because it is clear how scared the deep state is of this guy.
There ain't no doubt there. Okay, go ahead with your next story.
Okay, so many of you have heard the news last night that Iran's president and foreign minister, as well as other officials, have been confirmed dead in a helicopter crash. Now, there are a lot of fishy things going on with this story, to say the least. For one, there are many in the media that are not talking about the weather conditions that the Iranian president was flying through in his helicopter. I have a short video I want to play for you guys real quick. Here is a look at the weather conditions in the area where the president's helicopter crashed. Go ahead and play the first one.
Good.
Yeah,
Looks like
definitely.
looks like perfect flying weather, does it, guys?
Yeah.
So, but what's even more strange about this, it appears that weather data for this area where the president's helicopter crashed has been deleted. They have deleted the weather data for this area on this particular day. Can we play a second video? This second video I'm gonna play for you guys is a little bit longer than what we traditionally play here. It's a little over 2 minutes long, but this is incredibly important. So everybody really pay attention to this. Go ahead.
24, and I wanted to check out the weather that was taking place while they said the president of Iran was in a helicopter crash, and they said it was due to some weird fog. Now I'm going to show you something very weird when it comes to the weather in this area called Jaffa. This is where the helicopter crashed. They said it was right here on the border, right near this city, Jaffa, and here's the border right here. So it was in this area somewhere. So what I did was I lined this up with a weather chart. It's not exactly easy to get weather reports for this part of the world, but I did find some. And that is here on the CIRA weather website. A very detailed chart you can use. And here we are. This is the Middle East. We're looking at Jaffa right in this area here. Can't get much closer without it being very pixelated. But I want to show you something interesting. You can see the date up here. We're on May 18th. Now this happened the morning or early in the day on the 19th. And now it's obviously a whole different time. So as I move this, you're going to notice something weird. We get into nightfall. This is the beginning of the night of of the 18th for this part of the world. And as we move forward, you're going to notice something. We're going to get to the end of this bar here where we should be moving into the 19th, which is where we would see the weather and what's going on in this area when the helicopter crashed. But look what happens here. They have removed the entire 19th from the weather chart. You're going to see I'm just about at the end of the data here. Watch, it goes from the 18th right to the 20th. There it goes. Boom. It just pops from the 18th to the 20th, removing the entire 19th day. So we cannot see what was going on here no matter what setting I pick here. And I'll just show you on this chart here. This overlay here is meant to be able to see fog, and we'd be looking right in this area here. And again, you move from the 18th across the day. These take a little bit longer to load, but once you get all the way to here, it goes from the 18th to the 20th right there. Again, one click covers an entire day. So they have removed 24 hours of weather from one of the biggest weather charts that exists. This is one of the most detailed charts we can use to find weather all over the world, and we would be able to see exactly what was going on in this area, but they have taken the data away. Once again, I'll show you. Here's May 20th, which is in about 2 hours for the East Coast, but look, I backtrack, it goes right to the 18th. So the entire day of the 19th is missing, so we can't see what was going on in this area. Take that for what it's worth. If anyone can find the radar chart for May 19th of this part of the world, I would love to see it. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
So to ask the obvious question, what the hell is going on here? Why would they delete weather data from this day in particular? Is this a CIA operation working to stir up World War III? Remember, we talked about before, and I did a video on this the other day, of the Slovakian prime minister's attempted assassination. There is something brewing here.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to stir up conflicts around the world. So everybody better be prepared for this, because nothing about any of this, when it comes to the Iranian president's helicopter, makes sense. I think they're going to use this to blame on Israel somehow, some way, in order to use weapons, nuclear
Just
weapons.
to attack them.
Yeah, nuclear weapons against Israel. Just to further exacerbate conflict. So, things are going to get hairy here pretty quick.
Yeah, you got any more stories you got? You good?
Nothing at the moment. Go ahead. Proceed. You're the talent.
Every time before we get started, I always ask you guys to go to our Rumble page, just check them out. Mine is the Country Conservative, and Brendan's is the Brendan Statler Show. Check out our videos, share them with your friends and family. If you know any liberals, share them with them too. They need to wake their dumb asses up and get the truth to them. So don't forget to give us some thumbs up. It helps our channel grow. So with that being said, now we're going to keep going. First off, I'm going to get you into Georgia, and they green light Trump's appeal to remove FANI Willis from the election fraud case. Now, the Georgia Court of Appeals has sanctioned Donald Trump's bid to oust for FANI Willis from overseeing his election fraud trial, which is just as like the New York trials and every other one, and it's just another setback for Fulton County's district attorney. Now, I've got a short video here for you that it's only like 32 seconds long about FANI Willis in the courts that's going to allow Trump's appeal to go through. So take a look at this. Let me find it where I'm at here.
More breaking news right now at noon. The Georgia Court of Appeals giving former President Trump a victory, agreeing to hear a challenge to a ruling that allowed Fulton County DA FANI Willis to remain on the 2020 election meddling case. This is tied to Willis's romantic relationship with a former special prosecutor, the judge allowing Willis to stay on as long as the prosecutor, Nathan Wade, left the team, which happened. Trump's lawyers have 10 days from today to file their appeal. It will be heard in August.
Now, there's been so much controversy in this Georgia case of the 2020 election, and everything's coming to light. I don't know why I did that. But, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do have another one here. No, I don't. I didn't put it in there. But Fulton County Board of Elections, and I forgot to put it, and I wish I would have put it in there. But they have a video of it, and I think I couldn't get it. That's what happened. That's showing a woman filling out ballots and stamping them. And went to the next page. I don't know if you saw that, Brendan, or not.
Yeah.
Then they showed that guy in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, doing the same thing, and that was just here in this last election. And they showed him filling it out with a pencil and putting their stamp on it. They're counting ballots, and they were filling them out and stamping them right there, and they have them on video. And I couldn't get one of them for some reason. I couldn't download it for some reason. But this is the reason why all this shit's going through. Now, the Georgia Board of Elections, and damn it, I had that video, but there was 300 and some thousand ballots missing from Election Day. There was, what did they say? Over 7,000 ballots on, no, it was like 18,000 ballots, something like that. Shit, I'm screwing it up. When they did the recount on them, and then they had an investigation. All these ballots come up missing that were there prior to, and now they're showing the fraud because they're hiding all the evidence where they made these ballots up, and now they can't find them. Now, they had one Board of Elections member apologizing to people that was doing the investigations and stuff, and said that she should have taken it more serious because she knew there was fraud in the case, and she didn't.
I found it. I sent it to you.
Oh, you did?
It probably ain't gonna do us any good now. But...
Well, right now it won't. But now, if any judges in this country, Democrat-wise, would have the balls to take up the election fraud cases, because they have proof, but no judge will take this up because they're afraid of a riot happening to no end. And that's why they won't take these cases up. It's not because they don't think that there was fraud in the election. It's just they don't want the trouble, like you saw with BLM and Antifa and all them burning down stuff, billions of dollars, attacking people, hurting all these officers and stuff. That's why they don't want it.
Yeah, and it's not just the Democrats, unfortunately. It's even fake Republicans like the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, who basically shot every investigation that was happening in Georgia dead, and it continues to throw a fork in everything they try to do to look into elections in Georgia because he's part of the machine.
Right.
And, that's why this whole case, back to FANI Willis is such, why it's such bullshit, is because you have the right as an American, particularly, even a candidate's not any different. You have the right to question elections. I mean, look at Stacey Abrams, who ran for governor of Georgia twice. She still maintains that she was elected twice, despite the fact she lost twice to Brian Kemp, even though I don't like Brian Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay for her to question elections because she's a Democrat and she's a black woman. But Donald Trump questions elections, and he's a threat to our nation. Hillary Clinton still maintains to this day that the election of 2016 was stolen from her. I don't see her being indicted over it. This case in particular should have been thrown out. I mean, it should have never been brought, but looking at it right now, it should be thrown out altogether. Not just FANI Willis being kicked off the case. It should be removed completely because, they're saying that there's a conflict of interest, which there is, because she's screwing the prosecutor in the case. So how is it that you could say that one of them cannot serve on it because there's a conflict of interest, and say that these charges were not brought because of the conflict of interest? The whole case is tainted at this point. As far as I'm concerned, it should be thrown out. It shouldn't be a question.
Exactly right. That's for sure. But now I threw this one in here too, that Trump has accepted a fourth debate with Biden. And this is through NBC. But the problem is that Biden's campaign will not agree to a third or fourth debate. So now they picked and chose when they want it, who they want it with. But now when Trump decides to go with NBC, they decide, no, we're not going to do it because it's not on their terms.
Yeah, what happened to anytime, anywhere? Make my day, pal. Oh, I just shit my pants.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to all that? He wanted to be a tough guy in that video, but he could only do 2 debates. It's why won't you do multiple debates? If you were so sure that you could beat this guy, why wouldn't you do multiple debates? If you think the American people approve of you like you like to act they do, you should be looking forward to going on a debate stage with this guy and telling him that you beat him once, you're going to beat him even more next time. Well, it's because he didn't even beat him the first time, okay? Like I said before, if Biden really got 81 million votes, he would be throwing that out there constantly. He never mentions it because it didn't happen. And
Right.
he knows that he can't beat Trump at all.
Exactly.
His team knows this. That's why they don't want him to debate. It just shows how weak this guy is. It really does. It's absolutely pathetic.
Oh, most definitely. Now, with this article that I got for this, Trump's gagged allies and surrogates take aim at Bragg's faltering prosecution on his behalf. But the corrupt piece of shit judge can't gag us or Trump's allies. President Trump attended court this week alongside many prominent Republican allies, many of whom used the opportunity to criticize and repeat several of Trump's own talking points, of which himself was found in contempt of court for. So I don't care who you are or what you said. This judge has taken away President Trump's freedom of speech, and that son of a bitch needs to be held accountable after all this is said and done.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've talked about this before. Everybody else that is involved in this case is allowed to run to the media and say whatever they want. Trump is the only one that's not allowed to say anything. Isn't the whole point of the gag order to protect the defendant? Well, it's not in this case. They're using it to where this guy can't say anything to defend himself, and it's an absolute clown show. I wanted to say something that, well, I'll say it, shit show. It's an absolute shit show what we're seeing here. There's never been a case like this where the defendant is the only one that is not allowed to speak. That is why we say this is a persecution. It's already been predetermined. They're looking to convict Trump on anything they could possibly find to convict him on. And, the judge just showed that today, going back to our original story, by the way he reacted, screaming in the courtroom. I mean, that's not how a judge is supposed to conduct themselves. They're supposed to be neutral. And it's clear that this guy is not. And you see it based off how he has handled this case. There's no reason that Donald Trump should not be able to go out to the media and say exactly what he thinks about this case. I mean, there's no good reason for it. That stuff does not happen in the United States of America. That happens in third world shithole countries when they're trying to take their political opponent out. And sadly, that is what we are becoming. And we need to have Trump's back on this, and we have to reelect Trump this election, or we're going to become a third world shithole if we don't.
No doubt there, that's for sure. Now, you guys realize that this debate is on June 27th. I didn't even look the date up yet, but I want to be on live for this.
I do too.
And I'm hoping it comes about. So what the hell happened? But I'm going to show you this video I put together. It shows 2 of Trump's campaign ads. And these are funny. I just couldn't wait to show you guys these. So take a look at this real quick.
Whatever the hell they want. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit.
We can all see Joe Biden's weakness. If Biden wins, can he even survive till 2029? The real question is, can we? Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hello, I'm with the Biden campaign.
Yeah, I voted for Biden last time.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Everything costs more. Food, gas, rent.
Okay, but Biden's helping pay rent for newcomers to America from around the world.
You mean illegal immigrants? I'm struggling to pay my bills, but Biden's paying rent for illegals? They get handouts and I'm paying for it.
But Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah, I love those two. That was exactly what I found them both today. I had to cut them down a little bit, not much though, but it was pretty much the full thing. But the Democrats are afraid of what's going on here.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
scared of these debates. They know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure I can bet on that they're going to get rid of Biden come their national convention. But I want you to watch this short video here, about 1 minute and 8 seconds, of the Democrats being scared of these debates. Take a look at this real quick.
The 100,000 rally, Rich, freaked out Democrats. All right, now it showed Trump's strength, absolutely. Yeah. But so it's not a coincidence that a couple days later, Biden comes out with this phony bravado video, which they had to edit 5 or 6 or 8 times, and challenges Trump to debates. I think the two are related. And the table talk, again, is if Biden flunks that debate in June, they will take him out at the Democratic National Convention in August 19th in Chicago. So, game changer. What do you think?
Well, I would also throw in there the New York Times poll that came out with Trump basically ahead in all the swing states. Also, I think played into the fact Biden wouldn't be doing this unless he knew he's behind, right? And he says, oh, the polls are wrong, but they know they're behind. They know they need a game changer. Debates usually aren't game changers, but especially with the concerns about Biden's age, his capabilities, he really needs to show up. It's one thing to show up and read a teleprompter speech for 60 minutes to State of the Union. It's another thing to go 90 minutes toe-to-toe with an aggressor like Donald Trump.
I guess with this fourth debate that they were trying to put through, NBC was, because it was going to go in front of NBC and Telemundo, and it's important as Republicans that they win the great Hispanic community who Biden has devastated with crippling inflation, high gas prices, crime in our streets, border chaos. But if you're like me and you don't believe in, the debates to happen, I don't think so, but especially if he gets humiliated in this first debate, there will not be a second one. They cannot take that chance of Joe Biden making more of an ass out of himself. And the Democrats, they're gonna throw him under the bus. I'll guarantee it. By the national convention, I'll bet you they throw him under the bus.
I think that's very likely too. As far as these first debates, I forget when the second one is, but I know the first one's in June, so that's before the Democrat convention. I would say that the first one will happen because, like I talked about before, I think I mentioned this before they even announced the debates, and we were debating if Biden would commit to a debate. The media is going to have Biden's back no matter what. And they know that the moderators are going to ask Trump all these bullshit questions. And of course, Trump's going to fire back at him. And, they're going to, say how rude he was to the press and all this stuff. And those are going to be the headlines. You know what I mean? And
right.
they'll try to make Biden look better in that kind of light, like they've done this entire time. Yeah, I know. It's CNN watchers. You got to remember they're not that smart, Charlie. They're not.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's what I think is going to happen. I think there's a very good possibility he's replaced. I'm still going with the Gavin Newsom Michelle Obama ticket. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Michelle Obama is going to be Gavin Newsom's VP. That's what I think it's going to come down to, because I really have a hard time believing that they're going to try to run this guy again. And like you said, especially if he gets humiliated in this first debate, which we all know he's going to, but what it's going to come down to is the media going to be able to twist it enough to make him look not so bad, if that makes any sense to anyone listening. I think that's what it comes down to. If Biden could do if he could do anything above, falling off the stage and shitting his pants and all this stuff, the media will twist it, and then they might keep him in. But at this point, when it comes to the question, does Biden stay in, make it to the end? I really think it's a coin flip. really neither answer would shock me if I'm being honest. You know, we'll just have to see what happens. I think it's 50-50, honestly.
Oh, most definitely. I got this video here, it's only a minute long. It's with Tim Scott talking about all this. So take a look at this.
Here that's been said he seems to have met, but Joe Biden is so afraid of debating, he thinks he wants one-on-one with President Donald Trump because the moderators will run interference for Joe Biden. It is terrible, the rules that Joe Biden is dictating to have a debate. The good news is President Trump says anywhere, anytime, any place, because he knows he can expose the lies of Joe Biden, starting with inflation, moving to the border, and talking about crime. The issues that underlie the future of this country, Joe Biden's been on the wrong side of that the entire 4 years. South Carolinians, Maria, are paying more than $25,000 for the same things they could buy under President Trump because Joe Biden's inflation has destroyed, devastated their paychecks.
Oh, yeah. According to these dumbass liberals, though, there was no inflation under Biden. It was all because of Trump. They too damn dumb to even know that it was 1.4. And I even showed them an article from their fake news media, CNN. I gave it to her, and she wouldn't even read it. And
Charlie, in her defense, she probably couldn't read. I mean, come on. You got to remember who you're talking to here. You should have done a Venn diagram. They love Venn diagrams. Put a picture of a yellow school bus next to it. That would have been great.
Oh,
but,
yeah. They're damn dumb.
You know, honestly, either way you look at this, Biden not committing to these debates works in Trump's favor because this is what I would do. I don't know if the networks would do it. Probably not, if we're being honest, because every network that's hosting a debate is anti-Trump, even Fox News, if we're being honest here. If, you know, Trump already committed to these debates, the last two were Fox and NBC, I believe, I would just turn them into a town hall event. Go out and meet these people, answer their questions. I mean, Trump would win over a lot of people, I think. If he would just show up and do a town hall with these people. Now, whether the networks would go along with it, that's a whole other question. But this could really work in Trump's favor because this just shows how weak Biden is. You know, you want to do this tough guy persona and try to unleash your inner Clint Eastwood. And believe me, dude, you were nowhere near as good as Clint Eastwood. So, but anyway, he wants to do the tough guy persona. You know, this is the guy that I'll take him out behind the bar and I beat the hell out of him. You know, that's the same.
Yeah.
But you're too chicken shit to do more than 2 debates. I mean, come on. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, if he really beat him and got 81 million votes last time, this guy would be looking forward to go and debate the same guy as many times as possible.
Well, hell, he don't even want RFK on there.
Yeah.
He's afraid of RFK, and Trump has already said that he has no problem debating RFK.
Yeah, I'm certainly not an RFK fan, but let me phrase it this way. This is just my opinion, how I feel about this. I think RFK should only debate if they're holding it in states where he's already on the ballot, because, you know, just let's use Pennsylvania for an example. If RFK is not on the ballot here in Pennsylvania and they were doing a debate here in Pennsylvania, well, why the hell should he be on the stage if he's not even on the ballot in Pennsylvania? You know what I mean? If he gets on the ballot in enough states to where he, you know, has a legitimate possibility of winning, I agree with it. Or if they're in a state where people could actually vote for him, okay, he could be on the debate stage. But, you know, there's no reason why Biden shouldn't be wanting to debate Trump other than the fact he's scared and he can't beat him because he didn't beat him the first time.
He's not going to make it through the first one, let alone a second or a third or a fourth one. So, but Trump and Biden both agreed on Wednesday to hold 2 campaign debates. The first one scheduled for June 27th on CNN it's a joke in the first place. Because the whole thing is a setup anyways from the get-go. There's no audience. The corrupt CNN analyst, and it's on Joe Biden's terms. But the good thing about it is Trump doesn't need an audience. He doesn't need help. He will destroy Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's going to be a slobbery mess like he always does. But worse, he's going to be worse. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Do you think Trump's going to destroy Biden in this upcoming debate? Just leave a yes or no in your comment section. Now, we're going to get into this real quick. RFK supposedly is able to sue CNN over this debate exclusion. Because the co-chair of the nonpartisan commission that has organized the presidential debates for more than 35 years says independent candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. may have the grounds to sue his exclusion from the presidential debates agreed upon by Trump and Biden. But nobody states the law that they have, what CNN is breaking to allow Kennedy to sue them. But it just goes to show the cowardice of Joe Biden not wanting to get up against Kennedy. If you think you're tough enough to go up against Trump, you sure to hell can go after Kennedy. But they don't have a problem. Trump said, I have no problem debating Kennedy, but Joe Biden's campaign will not allow it.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. The next one here, because this is about Jake Tapper and that fair, what's his name? Fair Arbiter. Oh yeah. They're going to have a fair arbiter. CNN's Jack Tapper has been trashing Trump for years. And now he's moderating a presidential debate. I hope Trump takes him out too. And because the guy's going to probably try to cut him short, and cut him off or yell at him and say he can't say this or say that. He's going to do something to try to keep Trump from talking as much as he possibly can, because he can put his bias aside. Can he put his bias aside and run a fair debate? Hell no, he can't.
No, and Trump will turn this in his favor, because remember the first town hall he did since he announced he was running for president this time. I forget the girl's name, but we all know who she is, that moderated the CNN town hall he did. And Trump completely won over the crowd. I mean, it was really amazing. And this was a CNN event. So I don't think it matters what the bias is going to be. I say bring on the bias, because people see through it. Nobody trusts the media anymore. Everybody agrees that the media, and now that we're going through the legal process, the Department of Justice is completely weaponized against Trump. People recognize this. They don't trust the media anymore. So I say let them do what they're going to do. It's only going to work in Trump's favor. He's only going to gain popularity through it. So let Jake Tapper ask all the bullshit questions he wants to ask. The same with Brett Baer at Fox News, and probably Lester Holt will be doing NBC's, I'm sure. Let him ask all the bullshit questions they want. Trump will do just fine with it.
I think so, but we know all the questions for Biden are going to be rigged, and the questions for Trump are going to be somewhere out of this world.
They're going to be all loaded questions for Trump, and they're going to be softball questions for Biden, asking him what flavor ice cream he got on the way to the debate and all this bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's just going to be a part of trying to fix it and trying to get Trump. But you know what? Trump's good at that, though. He's off the cuff. He can think off the cuff. Joe Biden can't even read off the freaking teleprompter. But let me know what you guys' feelings about this debate is. Is it going to be a fair debate, in which we already have some answers in Wimpkin for that, and they're saying, hell no, that's not going to be fair at all.
No,
and we all know that.
And honestly, if you think yes, please leave us a comment why, because I can't think of any reason to think that the media is going to be unbiased for the first time in how many years.
Well, yeah, Tammy on Wimpkin said CNN, the first indication it'll be unfair. Oh, most definitely, and everybody else is agreeing with him. Billy Bob, American Rebellion, Gary, they're all agreeing with him.
But none of them are going to be good. Even if Biden does the one with Fox, believe it or not, and I think many people, particularly the people watching on Wimpkin, I think get this. The Fox News debate has the potential of being the worst one, if you could believe it, because Brett Baer will be a moderator, hands down. You know that. I don't see them asking Joe Biden really hard questions. They might ask him about the border and, but it's going to be general questions. You watch Fox News, you know what kind of questions they would ask if they were to host.
Yeah, but they're not in the debate, so.
No, they are for the third one. If
there ain't going to be a third one, they've already canceled that one.
No, I'm saying if there is, that has the potential.
Yeah,
to be
Biden's
one. But
Biden's already said they're not doing the third or a fourth one.
Yeah, I know.
They've thrown that out. But Billy Bob and Wimpkin's asking if Joe Biden's going to wear a mask and sit 6 feet apart from Trump. We got Tammy said, dumbass already has his list of questions so they can set up the answers. She's right on that one.
Oh yeah, he'll stutter and stammer through them, and the media will say what great responses they were, and then they'll call Trump a racist. And you know that pretty much all of these questions are going to be centered around two things. One, Trump's legal troubles, what they'll call legal troubles, and the second will be abortion. They're not going to ask Biden any questions on the economy. It's all going to be loaded questions against Trump. So when do you think an appropriate time for a woman to have an abortion is? Would it be whatever number of weeks, that would be the questions they would ask. And Trump's not going to give an answer because he actually wants to sit down and talk to people and meet in the middle.
Right.
And that's all that will take up the news cycle is Trump refuses to give his stance on abortion. That's
right.
what it would be.
American Rebellion agree with you too. Gary said it won't be because in 2016 Fox News was an ambush. So
absolutely.
Yeah, they're all right on that one.
Remember Megyn Kelly. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Remember Megyn Kelly.
Right.
It was an ambush.
Now we're going to get into it comes from Newsmax. Hunter Biden's benefactor now is running low on cash. And I think this is hilarious. The millionaire can't afford to pay hundreds of billions of dollars to Hunter Biden bills anymore. The Hollywood entertainment lawyer who was supporting Hunter Biden told people he's running out of resources to help fund him legally and for his legal defense. Now, why would anybody help this piece of shit crackhead in the first place, unless they're getting something out of this? And the Biden crime syndicate family was, getting all this money from other people. Now, according to, I can't remember who it was. I got this small video here showing you. Supposedly the Bidens are broke. You guys got to watch this. This is a little bit longer, but they're saying they're broke. Watch this.
And new questions over President Biden's personal finances as the White House releases required disclosure forms. They show the president and first lady having a personal debt of between $350,000 and $850,000. This includes a mortgage on their Delaware home with a balance between $250,000 and $500,000. The Bidens reported assets of between $1 million and $2.6 million. So tell me more about the filing. What did we learn and what stood out to you most?
And then on the home equity front, the home equity loan, that was something that he took out in 2022. But I think what is interesting here is that when you look at Biden's personal assets between $1 million and $2 million, and then you compare that to the liabilities he has, up to $850,000. I mean, potentially that is a lot of money to be owing when your net worth isn't that big. It's certainly not as big as other senators or former presidents, for that matter, who really cashed in after leaving office.
I want to ask you about the impeachment probe, because this comes as House Republicans have been investigating millions that have flowed to other Biden family members from foreign countries. We're talking about Hunter Biden here. So how do you see these filings impacting the impeachment probe moving forward?
Well, this is something that is not entirely new. It was known that the president doesn't have that much personal wealth, and that's because he's been in public service since 1972. He was in the Senate for 36 years and then vice president. During his time out of office, he did not make that much money, and so that raises the question of whether he capitalized it all from Hunter Biden's influence peddling operation.
It's funny how when people start catching on to the Biden crime family syndicate corruption, the money stops flowing in. Now, how can they afford these multi-million-dollar mansions and these cars and everything they've been living high on the hog for all these years? Now they can't do it. Now, makes you wonder, don't you think? And now Hunter Biden's allies, they are exploring a legal fund defense. What are they going to do? Start what the hell is that thing called?
GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe for him or something.
Yeah. Nobody believes that the Biden family is not loaded. Okay. I mean, this guy has been in public office his entire life, for decades, and every decade he's been in office, he's been ripping off the American people. This guy has more money than most of us will have put together. But the reason they're coming out with this story, News Nation and probably others came out with this story with one intention. They're trying to make Biden more relatable to the average American. Because you have Donald Trump, who is, a billionaire, however much he's worth at this point. I really don't know. I know he lost a lot of money during his 4 years as president.
Right.
Which is, a complete contrast from, the other pricks in Washington. But anyway, they're trying to do this to make Biden more relatable. This is how they're presenting it. I'm not saying I agree with this, but Biden, the guy that has all this debt, and he's has to pay his mortgage and all that stuff, versus Trump, the billionaire with all these casinos and hotels and all that stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody believes that this guy has spent all this time in office and did not rip off the American people for the entire time he's been in office. And like you said, you see that these properties he owns, these nice cars that he's had,
you can't afford that on a senator's salary.
No, you cannot. So, no, you absolutely cannot. So people are going to see through this. It's honestly funny how the level of desperation we're starting to see. I mean, I'm telling you, Democrats in the deep state are panicked right now. Panicked isn't even the right word. They are truly shitting their pants right now, much like Joe Biden does on a regular basis. Because they see the way the tide is turning. They see that Donald Trump is getting even more popular with each day. And it doesn't matter what bullshit story they come out with. People still gravitate towards Trump. It doesn't matter what happens. They come out with any bullshit story, people are going to go and vote for Trump. And there's really nothing they could do to stop it. They are in complete meltdown, and I think that's the whole reason they're coming out with this story. What is a way we can make this guy more relatable to the American voter? Oh, he's in debt, but how could he be in debt when the economy's so great? So it's all this.
Well, yeah, but they're not even worried about that. They're worried about on this article comes from who does this come from? Oh, this is a New York Post. The White House and the Bidens are anxious, fears that first son will serve prison time over this gun case. And what they're worried about, because it's election time and Joe Biden pardoning him during an election campaign, where they find that this will blow his chance. His chances are blown anyway. The demented old fool can't even, like Tammy said, he can't find himself come off stage. So if people vote for him, you're an idiot. Plain and simple. You don't like it, I don't give a shit.
No, I don't know how anybody could. I mean, seriously, if you just watch him speak,
no kidding.
You watch the way he walks and he constantly falls. I mean, how do you look at this guy and be like, yeah, that's the guy I'm voting for. That's the guy I trust to negotiate with Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un and Putin and all these other people. I mean, come on.
No
I mean,
kidding.
this guy can't put together a coherent sentence. I mean, I don't understand. Even if you don't like Donald Trump, you think he's an asshole. How do you not acknowledge that at the very least, he's better than Joe Biden? I mean, come on. At the very least.
We're going to Biden here for a little while because I'm tired of talking about him because he's an idiot and he should not even be in office. And Republicans know this, but nothing gets done because they keep saying, and with them hiding the tapes and all that from Robert Hers, they know what's on there and they know it's going to show his mental decapacity. But let's get into this. They've got, all these migrants at the southern border and everything. The numbers are picking up. We've had 1.7 million, I think, in the first quarter of this fiscal year. And we've still got like 5 months left in this fiscal year. Now, the problem with this is these 2 migrants, they've taken into custody, ICE did, for attempting to breach Virginia Marine Base. The crime rate has risen extensively because of these illegal criminals that Joe Biden and Democrat parties have allowed to come in to this country. But more for the Democrat representatives, that's why they're doing it. They want the delegate counts to go up in the cities where they're putting these illegal criminals.
Exactly right.
The whole reason this is to win future elections from here on out. That's the reason why. It's the body. It's not. They don't care who it is. It's the body. If they have a body in there, it raises the delegate counts up for them, and that's what they'll get. So that's they're allowing these criminals, mental cases, terrorists, drug cartel members to come to this country. They don't care about the American people getting hurt, killed, attacked, raped, anything. You people need to wake up because something worse is going to happen. And they've already put a terrorist attack warning for the United States out yesterday, I think it was. It was today or yesterday because of what's coming across the southern border.
Yeah, and part of it is not only the delegate count, although I think that is the biggest part of it. I agree with you 100%. I think they truly want the chaos too. They want Americans murdered. We are in a civil war now, whether people want to admit it or not. We are in a civil war. This is 1776 style shit we are seeing. This is Republic ending what we have seen over the last 3 years, and we need to get a grip. We need to get a grip on it quick, and we need to fight back with everything we have. And it all starts with electing Donald Trump this upcoming election. He has to be sworn in as the next president of the United States because 4 more years of this, whether it's Joe Biden or whoever, even some good Republicans, if it was any other Republican, just using a hypothetical, I don't think they would be able to fix this problem. I really believe Donald Trump is the only one that can fix this problem and get this country back on track.
Well, yeah, because he's a great businessman, and it takes a businessman to fix the money issues that Biden made.
Absolutely. But if we have another Democrat, whether it's Biden, whether it's Newsom, whether it's Michelle Obama, whether it's whoever, this country is completely screwed, I believe.
Oh, any Democrat, it don't matter who they put in.
We cannot survive another 4 years of this. I mean, this is Republic ending everything we have seen over the last 3 years. People need to go out and vote. MAGA has to be out in full force this election. If you really care about this country, I don't care if everything about Donald Trump makes you sick. You hate the look of his face. The sound of his voice makes you want to puke. He is the only way to save this nation at this point. I mean, that is the truth of it. There is no way around it.
Oh, yeah. Now, this article, I just want to run through real quick. Not only have we had about 32 to 36,000 little Chinamen coming across the southern border. Now, this comes to you from Breitbart. Joe Biden and the Inflation Reduction Act that only raised inflation gave China billions of dollars, and it cuts Medicare and kills American jobs. Now, if you don't tell me that Joe Biden is not, what the hell you call him? I'm having a brain fart again. He's not taken by China. He's not, you know what I mean?
Bought by China.
Yeah, he's not been bought.
That was a big word for you, Charlie. I understand.
I wasn't looking for that one, but it worked. If he's giving them billions out of this Inflation Reduction Act, that just shows how corrupt this man is.
Oh, yeah.
And not the only thing the man's been doing, letting him fly the balloon over and all that stuff, that makes it even worse. Now, you want to talk about corruption. Now, this last thing on my agenda, 61 Democrats vote against House resolution condemning the violence against police. Now, I want you to watch this real quick video here. This is pathetic. This shows the corruption and the ignorance of the Democrat Party. Watch this.
The House passed a resolution condemning violence against law enforcement and calls to defund the police on Friday, with 61 Democrats voting against the measure. All Republicans voted for the bill, which passed 337 to 61, with 134 Democratic yes votes. Subscribe my channel for update news. It's the last law enforcement related bill House GOP leaders have teed up this week to commemorate Police Week. The resolution text indirectly cited the summer 2020 protests, arguing, respect for the rule of law and law enforcement officials diminished since then. It appeared to go after progressive policies that critics have panned as soft on crime, claiming, policies implemented at several state and local jurisdictions have increased the difficulty and added significant risks for law enforcement to do their jobs effectively and safely.
Now, did you guys notice who was through that video? The piece of shit squad. They were through that whole video. They are part of the ones that did not vote for my 134 Democrats voted yes, and it did pass 337 to 61. But the point is, every damn person in that place should have voted to stop the violence against the cops. But you got those piece of shit squad members that should be sent to Syria, all of them. Even that donkey of a AOC. She needs to go right along with them with a one-way ticket and do not let them come back. Because that is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But it's not surprising at the same time. Remember, this is the same party that was bailing out the Black Lives Matter thugs that were burning down the cities during Floydapalooza in 2020. The Democrat Party is the party of lawlessness and anarchy. And, you don't need to look any further. You don't even have to look back to 2020 and Floydapalooza. Just look at the illegal alien thugs they let into the country every single day and the crimes that they commit. Many of these people are violent. Many of them belong to gangs such as MS-13. I mean, this is what they want. They were the leading charge back in 2020 for defund the police. That's why I say this is what they want. They want there to be anarchy in the streets. They want Americans killed.
That's what they strive for.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. This is what a country looks under liberal policies. Liberalism does not work. I don't care what country it is. It does not work. Liberalism, to quote Michael Savage, is a mental disorder. And, this is how Marxism starts. You look at Karl Marx, many of his philosophies are very similar to the quote-unquote progressive Democrat philosophies. That is what they want. They want this to be a Marxist dictatorship, and we're well on our way to becoming that. That is why we have to go out in full force this election. I know we say this all the time, but we're going to keep beating this till election night. We have to be out in full force. We have to vote for Donald Trump, because that is the only way that this shit show stops.
Exactly right. And that's all the time we have for you guys tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in and ask you, please, again, check out our Rumble pages. Mine is Country Conservative. Brendan's is the Brendan Statler Show. Don't forget to follow us. Give us that thumbs up. Check out our videos. Share them with your friends, your family, your liberal friends. Even if they're not your friends, share them with them anyways.
Yeah, share them with every liberal possible.
Exactly right. The more the liberals you pass our videos to, the better off they'll be. Pass them to everybody. Piss them all off. Absolutely. So, that's always that's great. Yeah, don't forget to give us our thumbs up. Like wherever you're tuning in from, whatever it is, give us the like, thumbs up, follows, share, all that stuff. Now I'll leave you with this. Thank you for joining us on the Conservative Viewpoint. We are your world where political discourse often feels like a battleground. Our mission here has been clear: to provide a platform for thoughtful, principled discussion, we've explored conservative values, dissected policy proposals, and challenged prevailing narratives. But beyond talking points, we aim for something deeper, a genuine understanding of the ideas that shape our nation. It takes courage to stand firm in our convictions, especially when the winds of popular opinion blow against you. Whether you're a student, a business owner, or a public servant, your voice matters. Don't be afraid to speak up. So until tomorrow night, keep the conversation of conservatism burning bright. Thank you for being part of this journey. This has been the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm Charlie, signing off. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.